Hey guys, it's Krishanti with Krishanti.com talking about psychic development and spiritual and personal growth. So if you like this topic, please hit the like button and subscribe because I do a new video every week. And what I want to chit chat a little bit about is learning to do clairvoyant readings and something to look out for with yourself when you're in that process, when you're doing readings for other people. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I believe that everybody is intuitive. We all have psychic abilities, and all we need to do to kind of get them up and running is to learn how to use them and to incorporate them into our everyday lives. A lot of people are learning how to do this and how to be not only psychic and intuitive, but specifically like clairvoyant, which is how I started out. I'm very visual. So I've trained in this formal process of doing clairvoyant readings. Now that was a long time ago, and my readings have evolved and changed since. I've been channeling, I've gone through all kinds of spiritual initiations and raising my vibration and all of that on this pathway. But if you're first just starting out, and you're doing the clairvoyant work and you're practicing on other people, you want to be very careful and very aware of when you are just being straight up clairvoyant, as opposed to slipping into advice giving mode, caring mode, worrying mode. Now, we as healers and intuitives are more often than not naturally sensitive and empathic. We can understand the plight of others. We want to do this work to help other people. But what I've seen in training students of my own and hearing from people who are on this path is that if you're not careful when you're first doing these readings, and even down the line when you're doing this, you can slip out of psychic mode and out of clairvoyant mode and into straight up, let me chit chat with you and give you some advice mode. And I had a student who did this, who he very much wanted to be psychic and clairvoyant, but every single time I could see it happen. Like he would just stop being psychic. He would stop the flow and then just start talking like it was him, like a dude talking to you, giving you advice. Now, advice is great, but it's not as powerful as and impactful as straight up clairvoyant imagery. And here's what a lot of people don't quite understand. When you're doing clairvoyant work, it is weird. It doesn't make sense. It is really out there. And for students who are learning how to do it, you have to let go, and you have to be like, I'm going to just let this flow, and it's going to be a strange image. That image is going to have some colors that are different. It may not make sense logically to the person, but in the psychic realm and intuitive realm, it's beautiful. It's so spot on. It's so powerful, much more so than your 2 cents about this, that, or the other. That's why in a really good, like an excellent clairvoyant training program or psychic development program where you're working with somebody and you're doing readings on other people, you're really not supposed to be allowed to ask them for feedback, to ask them what they think, or to check in with them at any point during the reading. You're supposed to just boldly go where no man has gone before and straight up just say, I'm seeing a black swirl with thorns, and it's turning into a sky with blue clouds, and there's a mountain, and on that mountain is a little pygmy, and the little pygmy is making a fire, and there's a monkey over there, and you know what I mean? Like, that's legitimately how it works. And that's it when you're starting out. And even down the line, if you're doing clairvoyant energy work, or even now I get like clairvoyant pictures that are like that. And so the whole thing about it is this intuitive world, we so want with our logical minds to make it fit in with the analytical side and fit in with the logical. But once you throw caution to the wind and you let go of that need to sound like you know what you're talking about, and you embrace the wackiness of it, that's when the real magic really happens. And you have to think about it from the point of view of like, how much do we really know about reality and this world, this three-dimensional world? Not a whole lot. If we let go of that knowledge, that little bit of knowledge that we do know, push it aside, and then let this other thing that kind of come in and feed us. I'm stumbling over my words today. I'm so sorry. That will be the mind-blowing stuff and the really cool stuff. And then in that power comes the ability to heal even more deeply and intensely. If you're working with clairvoyant imagery, which is locked into the subconscious of the person and triggered by like points of energy and awareness, and then you just, kind of shatter those blocks, or like kind of manipulate that imagery in order to move blocks away, to get rid of old stuff and allow fresh energy in. That's where the real healing takes place. Versus, again, where you're like, well, does that make sense? Well, no, I don't know. Well, what I really want to know is this, that, or the other. And you end up just talking to the person. And we've all, I'm sure all of us, those of you who are watching this who do reading stuff, we've all had those people that just really want to talk through the whole reading. And that's not really going to provide a lot of just like healing kind of stuff to take place. It's therapeutic, just like talking to a therapist is therapeutic, but it's not the core essence of a true clairvoyant reading. So back to what I was stating initially, if you're practicing, practice as much as possible. And if you're practicing and you're not charging, you're allowed to say, hey, look, this is my way I'm doing it. Can you just not say anything for the whole entire reading and let me just get out what I need to get out? And you could take notes, maybe ask one question at the end. That's how it's traditionally done in these clairvoyant training programs in schools. That's how I like to work when I train one-on-one. I don't take that many students on at all, because it's a huge, intense process. But that's the best way. And then again, if you're branching out on your own and you've done the training and you're working with people, just try to always make sure you're relying on the imagery and you're letting that guide you through the session. Incredibly helpful. So that about sums all that up. I do have a program called Activate Your Psychic Superpowers that gives you all the meditations and tools you need to just sort of initially get started. I created that with Deborah Katz, who wrote a book called You Are Psychic, The Art of Clairvoyant Reading and Healing. So this program is sort of based on the core concepts of that book, but it's more of a hands-on approach. So check that out. It's activateyourspsychicsuperpowers.com. And if you have questions pertaining to clairvoyance and working with it, or about, activating your psychic abilities a little bit more, please put it in the comments below and I'll make a video, because I do one every week. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.